Welcome back to CryptoWealthy channel, guys. In Monday's episode, we do have some interesting technical analysis to do over here. Unfortunately, we don't have too much news to cover, but we are going to see what could potentially happen in the next few days or so, because we have formed some interesting patterns here on the charts. So I think you would like to see this. And also we're going to go through the details of Crypto and Grid Index. We're going to go through the Google Trends to see what is going on with the Bitcoin price, and are we getting any sort of attention from the retail investors whatsoever. And now let's begin. Now, also one of the reasons that I didn't do videos in the previous 2 days is because from those 48 hours I was working 28, I think, because of the COVID and everything. So right now we are starting fresh over here from the very Monday, and as we can see over here on the daily chart, we are doing pretty well over here. But luckily, let's say, not unfortunately, Bitcoin managed to stop on $16,500 to take a rest and to let the bears take some profits. Now what happened over here is that we still didn't retest 20 exponential moving average, and we formed one of the bearish pattern, or let's say one correction pattern that hit actually in $16,500, and that is evening star pattern. That pattern is those 3 candles over here that you can see. So we are not counting those 2. We're going to mentioning them a little bit later. What this pattern means over here is it's formed with one big real body candle. Next needs to be, of course, doji candle, and the next that follows needs to be the red candle, which goes very well into this first body candle. So in this case scenario, it dipped to 16,088, which is over here. So this is perfectly good correction pattern, or let's say bearish pattern, which is coming after the rally. We mentioned this in the previous video that we are on the way to form this pattern, and right now this pattern is completed, but we still didn't see effect of it, at least not full of it, until we'll be breaking this high over here. Now why this high? Why this high of this candle over here? And one of the reasons for that is because that high represents the next resistance for the Bitcoin. Until we see breaking up $16,500, this pattern is still in play, which means that we are still in correction. Even so, today we do have some green candle over here. Now what I wanted to show you over here is very interesting, and that's on the 4-hourly chart, or 1-hourly chart is even better. If we switch on the 1-hourly chart over here, you can see that there where Bitcoin actually made that resistance is actually 4 candles, which declined us over here all the way to the downside. And if we go a little bit on the live over here, you can see that we are declining right now with the same similar pattern over here, just the doji candle is much thinner over here. As you can see, one of the reasons for that also is on RSI. On 1-hourly chart, we retouched a 70 level over here, so we almost came into the overbought zone, which pretty much gives a signal for the decline on the 1-hourly chart, also in the area between 16,000 and 60,500. This pretty much indicates that the Bitcoin is going to consolidate a bit of time over here before we break $16,500 in the next months or so, or even weeks, let's say. But we are going to see how long Bitcoin decides to actually spend time over here. I would say as much as possible, so we can hold this level if we crash later on. Now, one interesting fact also over here is that we were in this consolidation pattern over here on 1-hourly chart, as you can see, and we broke onto the bullish side. And what I'm seeing on this chart is bullish, of course, but if we switch over here on the Ethereum managed to make actually rising wedge formation and broke to the downside. As you can see, we almost had some sort of a retest over here before this decline over here, and right now we are consolidating on for $154 more or less. If we switch on the link also did the bearish thing. Unfortunately, the thing that we discussed about trade that we should do over here, we can switch to the 4-hourly chart to show you, is actually to trade above this area over here where we made this high over here, and we didn't stop falling since. So as you can see, we broke even this tunnel over here that link made. And yeah, right now actually today we are retesting it. So usually how these patterns works, the price when it breaks some sort of a level of support, usually or sometimes, let's say like this, it comes back to retest. It comes back to retest this previous support, or in this case scenario, it's a resistance level, and then we're going to see decline. Of course, it could be the momentum push to the downside directly, but in this case scenario, we do have correction on the Bitcoin price, and we still didn't break over here this low. So we will see if the link will manage to actually push to the upside, but I would bet that we may decline, and one of the reasons for that is because we have double resistance over here, which is 20 exponential moving average on the 4-hourly chart, and also the resistance that we were consolidating below for about 24 hours or so. So be careful over here on the link, observe this line. So if the link managed to push above this line over here, as we did over here, on the round retest, link decided to actually push to the upside, we need to see the same thing over here to come back in this area. On the 1 daily chart, you can see that we are still making higher lows on the RSI, and also on the chart over here we found level of support on the morning star over here, which we traded, and we were some in profits over here. If you remember that video, go back and check out that trade. So far not so bad, but we need to see over here bounce. As we can see, we are seeing bounce from 20 EMA on the daily chart, but we need to see breakout towards that resistance that we have right now, so we can come back in tracks over here, and then only then I will put this resistance over here as a valid resistance for trade in the next retest. Also, I can't say anything good for the VeChain because we discussed in the previous video that we were in the falling wedge formation, which is bullish, but until we break this black line over here that I showed you already for a few videos, we cannot say that we are bullish because we are still below that structure that VeChain needs to break before we see some parabolic move as we saw over here. Also, if we switch to another EMAs, we can see that we do have good resistance on the 200 simple moving average over here, and right now unfortunately on the 50. So this is not good to trade right now. We still wouldn't know where the price may go, so be careful over here. VeChain is making some big wicks, big volatility without any liquidity, which is very interesting and very dangerous for trade. So be careful. It's better to trade swings on the VeChain than anything else. That I would recommend you for sure. Also, the thing that we draw over here on the S&P 500 traditional markets, we can see that the S&P managed to break from this pattern over here, and right now we are finding level of support on it, and this is also one of the reasons why Bitcoin may surge to the upside, because everything is in green, including traditional markets, most probably the gold, as you can see over here. And yeah, we're going to see how the S&P 500 will play out in the next period of time, but it may also hit the big FOMO because we are breaking the highest high. We are making the highest high and the all-time highs in the S&P 500 traditional markets. So we will see if this will affect on the Bitcoin. And one of the very important reason also, you need to observe this high for sure, because this was very high decline. So until we break also this week over here, we cannot say that we are going any higher whatsoever. Even so, we are on so high levels over here. Now switching to the Fear and Greed Index, as you can see, we are on the extreme greed 90, and it would be perfectly fine if the Bitcoin would correct a little bit now to retest 20 EMA. So if we switch to the weekly chart, I need to show you something. Bitcoin is starting its rally whenever it comes back on the 20 exponential moving average, constantly retested and bouncing back from it. Why I'm saying this is because we can go to back actually on logarithmic chart to show you a little bit better. Over here, when we were consolidating somewhere around this level, which is April or July, something like this, once we got back above 20 EMA on the weekly chart, you can see that every time Bitcoin went to the upside, we were retesting 20 EMA and bouncing from it like on the water. So this was perfectly good, and the same thing, the same pattern applies right now in the live version over here, because we are above 20 EMA after that crash in March. Then we were retesting 20 EMA, retesting 20 EMA, and right now we need to come back and retest it one more time. I hope we're not going to crash below $14,000, because that's that week that we were discussing for about a few weeks or so. But I think that's going to be a good level of support, where this 20 EMA may wait for us to come to those levels, retest it, and then bounce back to break 16,500. We need to watch and observe the weekly chart, how the Bitcoin price will react over here and also on those levels where we are right now. You can see on the weekly chart that we are seeing some weaknesses over here, and one of the reasons for that is because of the candles that are forming right now. All candles are smaller and smaller, which pretty much means that we are getting good resistance over here. So you need to be careful right now. We still didn't see major decline, and you can see that on the daily chart we formed the evening star, while over here we are forming some sort of a correction way. So be careful, please, just be careful right now. But definitely on the bigger picture, we are very, very bullish. Now, if we switch on the Bitcoin Google Trends over here, you can see that on worldwide chart, on all-time chart, of course, we are still not even close to the all-time highs that we had in 2017, which pretty much indicates that retail investors are still not interested into the Bitcoin, while the institutional investors are coming in non-stoply. So this is also good. We're going to have much more bigger prices push to the upside, bubbles again. Once the price pumps over $20,000, the retail investors will come in. Then you're going to see the FOMO in the Bitcoin, and we hopefully believe in the altcoins also. So before we go over here, I want to ask you to hit that like and subscribe button if you like this sort of a content, of course, and check out our channel over here and videos. Thank you very much for so many subscribers. After 1K, we went pretty much parabolically when it comes to my chart on the channel or on subscribers. Thank you very much for that. And also I need to mention, check out our videos over here. We are covering one cryptocurrency. We are not sponsored by them, I need to say that. We are just endorsing their blockchain, and I am invested in that crypto. The thing that you need to watch if you like freedom of speech, they are making the big stratus over here. No censorship. There is going to be no censorship on their platform over here, so you need to check out that. They're going to replace Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and I'm one of the first person to test this platform. Also, they're making the game, as you can see, I can scroll over here, this game over here. Yeah, they're making Gold Inc. game, which is going to pretty much pay you in crypto for playing it, and I'm already actually earning on around approximately $2,500 I earned in the previous 1 month or so. So definitely, ladies and gentlemen, I want to help you. I want for you to make money. This is totally free to play game. It's coming in beta version right now, you know, big beta version. I was one of the first players there, so make sure to check out this game because it's coming very soon, free to play on the Android and also on the computer. So whoever is the first is going to be like when it's 2009 Bitcoin mining and stuff like that. So if you want that chance, subscribe to this channel, of course, hit that like button, and also follow the updates over here on this channel because I'm going to do more videos of Apollo, of course. They're making the government product, they're making many things, so soon many countries are going to implement that technology. They're actually working on that right now as we're speaking. And yeah, they have quantum blockchain, they have the sharding, something that nobody pulled out. Even not Ethereum, they're still struggling with it. Apollo has it. They even got confirmation. We discussed about that over here. As you can see in this video, crypto historical news, Apollo currency got validation for sharding. Please just check out our channel. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. If you don't like something, let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you very much for watching, and till the next episode, happy trading and goodbye.